Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name's Colin, and I live in a cabin that I built off-grid here in Oaxaca, Mexico, in the mountains. I don't have any road access, so it's pretty calm and peaceful here. I've been doing a lot of my videos in Spanish lately, but this video I wanted to do in English just because it's much easier for me to articulate myself. Sometimes I do feel restricted in my vocabulary to be able to properly express myself. And specifically on this topic, I wanted to speak English, something that could flow a little easier, something that, yeah, my native tongue, there's just nothing like it. And this topic I wanted to specifically speak on solitude here off grid. And this could apply to, so many different things. You don't have to be off grid in a cabin in the middle of nowhere to feel alone or to enjoy solitude. And there are two big differences in both of those. Right now, we're in a pretty big transition where I live as far as the weather goes. Just this past couple of weeks, the rainy season started, and it wasn't a gradual start. It was like one moment we had just nothing but sunny days, and I was like constantly hiking around and outdoors and working on building my bathroom right now. And then in one moment it was just daily rain, 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 rain. And that caused me to spend a lot more time inside, here in the cabin. And with that came a lot of, not a lot, but some anxiety and discomfort. I think a lot of people experience that when being alone. And it comes in waves, a lot of the time, I'm introverted and I feel really recharged and energized. And, I've always got my little things to do. But with the rain, especially like, when it's 2 or 3 and it's still bright out, but it's just like pouring and I'm in here and you know, I've done all what I think to do, like household chores and cleaning and tidying and dishes and cooking and, preparing a fire. And, once all those little tasks kind of run out, it's quiet and your mind wanders. And another side effect of the rain and the overcast is that my batteries haven't been charging to full capacity like I was used to. And what that means is I've been a lot more mindful of my internet usage because my Starlink Wi-Fi does use up a substantial amount of battery power. So with the rain, as well as disconnecting my Wi-Fi, has really caused me to look inward. And it seems like these moments, these changings of seasons happen, right when you need them most, which is just kind of how life works out sometimes. Like I just found out a couple of weeks ago that my biological father had passed away, and I've been working on processing that, and that happened, right at the turn of the rainy season, and it's been interesting. It hasn't been easy, but it's been what I needed. Just this whole season in general of building this cabin and living off grid and starting a family and then losing that family, starting a YouTube channel, having it grow so fast. I mean, it's just been a lot of things. And then to spend all that time alone, it's been very, very valuable in reflection and really thinking about where I want my future to go and where I'm headed and what I want out of life. And obviously, I don't have any cue cards or any bullet points I'm following here. I'm just kind of free flowing and thinking. I haven't produced as much as I have been just this last week or so because of this. and just working on healthier habits. I have started reading again, and thank goodness I've been starting to enjoy it. It is like a habit that you have to develop, and a muscle you have to exercise. I've been working on that, and I've started writing. Nothing in particular, kind of just like this video, just free flowing, just getting my thoughts out. But yeah, it's been interesting because yeah, at times it can be uncomfortable, but I've been learning to embrace that discomfort and try to root around and see what that is. You kind of get an inventory of your life and what you've done, what you could have done differently, and you kind of get that time to ruminate, because I feel like a lot of us, especially for me, the majority of my adult life was spent in just constant stimulation and movement, literally like just traveling all over the place, like a very nomadic lifestyle. And it was fun, but it was very distracting. And I used, substances, people, experiences, adrenaline, just everything to keep me in this state of, just not, I felt like I was present in a lot of moments, but I think there was a lot that I was avoiding and running from. And this, it was an abrupt halt moving out here into the woods from that style of life. It was like from one extreme to the next, and it hasn't been an easy transition, to say the least, but it's been a needed transition. And just learning to value time by myself, it's addicting. Honestly, I've become addicted to just my time alone. And trust me, like, I have people that I'm in contact with, and I have friends and people I reach out to and family that I call, but those are moments that, it's in my power to choose to do so. And I feel like it is more of a conscientious decision rather than an impulse to reach out and touch people. I think that makes the relationships more valuable when they're based off of, a choice rather than like this innate desire to not be alone, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I really like that. And there's definitely, it's going to be a constant thing. There's always going to be things I'm working on, but I feel like I am making forward progress and, leaps and bounds. And clearly, a lot of the previous habits that I've developed and created, they don't just disappear because I'm alone in the woods. It takes some work, and it takes confronting that, discomfort head on and thinking about why that's there, and what actions I can take or shifts in perspective I can make in order to not alleviate that frustration, but maybe remedy or create better tools for addressing and dealing with those emotions that, I spent so many years working to run from or cover up. So it's been a blessing. It hasn't always felt that way. Trust me, I've spent many, 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 many hours here in the rain. Or sometimes just, laying in bed, a form of meditation. And I'll just, I'm disconnected entirely. And I'll just lay in bed, and I've got my tin roof, and you can just hear the drops of rain. And I've got a pine tree just right kind of behind me here. And you can hear like the larger drops plop hit just right above my bed. I got my bed in my loft area right here. And I'll just sit there for hours. This past Sunday, I spent the whole day in bed just listening. Just drop, drop. And it's, at first it kind of scared me, but the tin talks. Like, it's got this weird kind of shape to it. So depending on where the drops hit and like at the certain times, it sounds like voices of all different age ranges. Sometimes it sounds like children outside, sometimes grown men, women, just everything. And like it's interesting to like kind of hear the voices. Never anything specific, you know, but just like the way they hit. I don't know. It's just strange things like that that you notice when you're just kind of in solitude and alone. And it's like those moments and like just slowing down, especially being from, you know, such a fast paced kind of Western civilization, you know, the US lifestyle of just so go, 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 go. I just constantly felt this state of anxiety and pressure where it's like, you know, being alone or still, I almost felt culpable or, you know, like I was doing something wrong. Like I should be doing something. And I had this pressure. And that's been something that's been gradually washing it away as well. You know, something that I'm so grateful that this new life affords me is time. You know, I don't have to be running around everywhere all the time and so distracted just to maintain. You know, it's a very simple lifestyle. And for me, like the time that it affords me is worth more than, you know, all the things that my other lifestyle gave me. You know, it was just things, but it was at the expense of my peace, you know. So this is something I'm grateful for, and it's been allowing me a lot of time to process and work on things. And you know, a lot of, you know, I still have those impulses where it's like I need to find somebody. I need to have someone here with me. I need someone present. And you know, for that reason, for those impulses, it's more of an indicator for me that no, no, I don't. What I need is to be in good company alone. You know, I mean, if I can't be happy and content with myself when I'm in isolation, then how can I expect to really have a fruitful and meaningful relationship with someone, if that makes sense? You know, because then I'm not just with someone to no longer be alone. Like I'm with someone out of choice. I don't know. Those are just some of my ponderings during this transition. I've really wanted to continue on my shower house, but with the rain, it just hasn't worked out. And I've been trying to think about, you know, because my channel has been so heavily focused on outdoor activities here off grid. You know, my work that I do in the trees, trimming branches, or the construction that I'm doing here. So with this transition into the rainy season, it really caused me to kind of hit a brick wall. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? I mean, of course, I didn't focus on the channel. I just went inward and started focus on reflection and, you know, writing, reading, you know, reaching out to some close friends and family. But I do want to continue recording and making videos for the channel. As of course most of you will see, or if you haven't already noticed, this is the first video I've done in English since, you know, things really blew up in Spanish. And I just want to not necessarily apologize, but I do feel that, you know, I didn't have a lot of followers starting out, you know, and it was a slow gradual process, which I think is more usual than not for a YouTube channel when I was doing it in English. But the people and the followers that I had accrued over that time were a lot of friends or close family that were very interested to see what I'm doing, because, you know, moving out here to Mexico into the woods, it did cut off all, personal, face-to-face contact I have with a lot of the people that have been the closest in my life. And this channel has been a medium for them to see, at least a small window of that. And once I had, such success with my viral video in Spanish, I just got so excited. And, clearly, I gained, 15,000 subscribers in a matter of, a month. And I knew that the majority of people watching the channel and tuning in spoke Spanish. And I really wanted to kind of cultivate and maintain that. And in doing so, I have, to a certain extent, isolated and cut off those initial followers, which were family, friends, and, people who were, just really interested in giving me a shot when, I was just starting out. So, I do feel slightly guilty for that. And I want to, I want to apologize, but I'm working on finding a way to be more inclusive to everyone. I've looked into the subtitles, and it's more complex than I had imagined. And for me doing it myself, it would require a substantial amount of additional time. And I don't want to. The amount of time that I am putting into the channel already is sufficient, when I'm comfortable and I'm motivated and I feel the inspiration, I use it. And then the whole editing process afterwards takes time as well. And then publishing also, and tags. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it. And taking on subtitles is just something I don't want to do, because I do value my free time, my alone time, and I don't want it to completely consume me. So once the channel is larger and I do build up some more momentum, that is, it's on the top of the priorities to get subtitles. But for now, I'm probably just going to do a mix of English and Spanish, just to, get a blend. This is, somewhat of an experiment as well. This is, kind of a video diary for me, and just kind of getting my thoughts out and, making a video in English. But eventually I do want to incorporate more in English. But I want to see how this is received, and, this form of content as well. I was thinking about maybe going for a little hike. That's something, I've been getting up earlier and earlier, because that's when we can beat the rain here. And, my daily hikes have been very therapeutic for me. And, when I gotta take advantage of it. So I was thinking about going out, doing a hike, chit-chatting. The mushrooms are coming out. They're all over the place now. I don't know what almost all of them are, but they're cool to look at. One of these days I'm going to do a tour with one of the locals about all the local mushrooms, and them explaining. It is going to be in Spanish, but it should still be pretty cool. Maybe, I don't know, I can do a blend of Spanish and English, like translating, like with the tour guide explaining in Spanish, and then maybe I could translate in English. I don't know, just a thought. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if I really came to a certain solution or head with this, but I don't know, it's just fun to chit chat, enjoy my coffee in the morning with you guys, make some content. Let me know if you liked it. If you guys have any recommendations for the future, I'm all ears. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in and listen. Once again, my name's Colin, Gringo Oaxaqueño, here off grid in Mexico. Thanks for tuning in. More to come. Bye.